Hi everybody, this is Mary Kay and we are painting the lightning. We're painting a nocturne, we're painting a sky, we're painting lightning. So I'm glad that you're with me, and anybody who's catching us on YouTube, welcome. I'm going to pin the video of page. There we go. Does everybody can see that screen today?
Yes.
Good.
No, I can't.
What?
I can't. How do I get to it?
So up at the top are some blue arrows.
Yes.
Click on the blue arrow.
Mary Kay's phone. Okay.
That's it. And then you click on that, or the little three little dots, and it'll give you a pin video.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Got it. All right. So this painting was inspired by the lightning storm that happened 8 days ago, which just came through the Bay Area. It's very rare for us to have lightning storms because we have a cold ocean. But it came through, and then I didn't get good pictures of it, but I went on Facebook, and Rosalind suggested a group called We Love Half Moon Bay. It's a bunch of photographs of Half Moon Bay, and they ran a little contest. They run little contests all the time. It's really kind of a neat page I didn't know about. And so they ran the best lightning photographs. But the guy who runs the thing, his name is Steve Maller, he never enters in the contest, but his was the best. But I can't remember who took this one, but I like this one here because of the lights along the top of Pillar Point, the radar station. You can see the golf ball, and there's a couple lights there, and there's some lights down here even in the water below. So I like that for that part of it. And then this photo is by Steve Maller. I think that is good. I like the lightning up here, the brightness right up there. It's like the shock of it. Some of it goes this way, some of it goes that way. Because that was the thing. I don't know how many of you watched it that night. It woke you up? Did you get up and go watch it?
Yes. 2.5 hours I watched.
Yeah. And remember just how much of it was in the clouds, and it was going sideways and lighting it up the clouds. It was just so amazing. And then the streaks would come down. And I like this one because it's got one solid streak. Here's the same one. That's the exact same one, just different format. I chopped it. And then this was one that I did some photos of. And this one's interesting because it's got that bigger streak here, and it's got two coming down. So it's kind of like a fork, I guess, and it looks, I don't know, when I did it, it came up looking like a spider. So the way that do you want to see the process I went through to get to it, or skip it? Just quick.
Yes.
The first thing I tried was just using a wax crayon.
Oh.
And I didn't really like that much because the lightning is solid. It doesn't skip, whereas the crayon kind of skipped. And then I did this one. This is from this photo here. And I used this down here. But what happened was on that one, I didn't use dark enough paint, and I didn't let it dry well enough because it then it rubbed off. This is all rubbing off. So it just didn't have that impact. But it's getting there. And then this one, what is this one? Oh, this is the one that's going in the show. That's the one that I like the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the extra lightness up here. That actually took me a little bit to get. I had to wipe out and add a little white paint. And I think this could actually be better if there were some white streaks down here, but this one already sold, so I can't mess with it. But we're gonna paint today. So there's my piece of paper. The first thing that I'm going to do is sketch in from these two photographs. So from this photograph here, I'm going to sketch in the point. And I'm going to use a real graphite pencil. So the end of this paintbrush that I love so much has got a pencil. I keep sharpening it, and my paintbrush gets shorter and shorter. So I'm just going to sketch this in by hand. I'm going to put it about where it is in this photograph. Just give myself about an inch above the bottom. That's the bottom. Maybe a little more, inch and a quarter. And it's very kind of flat. You know what? If you live in Pacifica, you can paint Rockaway Beach. Or if you're in San Francisco, just look up a couple pictures of San Francisco. So you can change this to be wherever you want it to be. And then there's this little hill kind of that comes up that the golf ball's on. I'm going to put it not smack in the center, but just off center. And I'm going to draw the little golf ball. The reason I'm using real graphite here is because I don't want it to dissolve when I get it all wet and paint over it. And then this is the breakwater comes out here. I don't know if you want to put that in. You could just leave that out if you wanted to. Okay, so it's kind of straight. Not that much to it. And then what I'm going to do is look at this photograph, and I'm going to try to draw in the light areas and the dark areas and the blue and the purple. So I see that it's kind of dark at the top, so but it's not a straight line. Kind of goes like that. So I just drew here. And then there's sort of a dark area that is here. And then there's kind of a light area. It doesn't matter, this is all just gonna go away once we wet it. And then I don't wanna make these all the same thickness. And I wanna get a little skinny blue one in there. Or maybe it's a little lower, the skinny blue one. And then it's kind of dark again. So just some lines to help me remember to put some different layers of color in. Then the next step is to get some PDO. And I tried to explain the credit card. So this is a really good credit card cut. See, so I'm using the edges that are rounded. And this side's about 1/2 inch and this side's about 1/4 of an inch or 1/3 of an inch. And what I'm going to do with my PDO is I have a scrap piece of paper right here. I'm just going to pour a couple drops on it. Hopefully it won't run off onto the floor into my hair. Just a couple drops. Woo! And if I take my credit card, I'm going to use the skinny end, and I dip it in there. I'm just going to see what I get. If I do dots, if I do lines, those are good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lights across the pillar point. So I'm going to make my first dot on this scrap paper because I know it's going to be too big. And I'm just going to start here at the left side of the pillar point. and just put some, well, these are the lights. And they follow this line here. Not perfectly straight. I'm not going to go clear to the edge. And then right at the tennis ball, golf ball, right below the golf ball is a couple dots of light. And there's kind of a couple over here too. And then what I can do is put underneath some of these dots, I can make a little line. Those will be little light areas. Over here I see a couple little lights shining down. I don't know if those showed up. It might be two. I don't have enough on there, but that's what I'm going to go with for the PBO along those lines. Now I'm going to do the lightning. Here's the picture that I'm working from. But my PBO is going crazy. It's trying to take off. It's trying to make a mess. There we go, that might work. So if we study the lightning for a little bit, it's not straight anywhere. It's all, the straightness is very short. It is straight. And it's kind of, sometimes it's curvy and sometimes it's very bendy. And sometimes it, goes up and around and it comes down. And then it looks like blood veins come off. A little one comes off and a littler one comes off of that. It's kind of like a fractal. And they're just all so random that you can't really make a mistake, I don't think. So I'm going to do the best I can on this. One thing that I want to be careful to kind of do is start with the, I'm always using the round end to start off, and then I'm going to see it. If you just let the credit card do its crazy things, you can really make it look all creaky. But I don't want to have it be skinny and then get fat, because it's like a tree branch that way. It's always getting skinnier as it goes down, except right there is kind of a little bit thicker, but I don't know why that's that way. So here I go. I'm going to just not be too scared, because really it's just a piece of paper and we have lots of it. All right, so this is starting off pretty thick, which I want right here in the light spot is a kind of a thick spot. So I have to pick that spot. Again, the best focal points are those 4 spots in a painting. So right here will be the spot that I want to start that lightning to come down from. That's going to be a focal point. So I just put it down. It'll make kind of a blob. And then I just start being, it kind of died out. That's the biggest challenge to this. Because now if I start it up again someplace, what I'm going to do when I start up is I'm going to pick one of the little change of directions and start there, because I don't want to get a big blob. If I get a big blob, I want it to be someplace I can sort of fake it. Like I don't want to start where I just ended. I'm going to start someplace else. So like on this blob, this little change right there. I'm going to start right there and see if I can get down to the ground or the ocean. But I gotta be crooked. Ah, that one was pretty crooked. Oh, that's a thick one, but it kind of looks like the one that, that was more luck than anything. And that went all the way in front of my pillar point. So later on, when that's dry, I'll lift up that one little spot because I want it to look like it's lightning. The lightning is striking behind the mountain or that little hill, that bluff. I kind of went over there, so I think I'll just turn that into something else. And now I'm going to make my one that comes out across and up. At the very end, I sort of torqued that down so that my eye wouldn't go out the painting. So I purposely made it kind of curve back into it. And then I can go from these little edges and put some other ones. I'm getting some skipping, which I don't really want, but it's not the end of the world either. There's one that goes this way. Again, I'll try to get that to come back in. And then you just keep adding on until you feel like you've got enough. So this part right here where my finger is, I can see that it's a T. It's not very interesting, so I need to figure out how to make that look better. Not sure how to do that, but make a little, like a loop up to it or down. Oh, it's a piece of paper. I don't know, now I really don't like it because now I made a cruciform. So I actually made an X right here, and an X is not a very good form for a painting. But luckily for me, this is just the sample one for you guys on how to do that. Because once you get that done and you feel like you've got enough lightning on it, then let it dry. But I did one this morning that I like better than that one I just did. There it is. So I'm ready to go. So my PBO on this one is dry. And the good thing about using a credit card is that you don't have to wash it off. Okay, now I'm going to paint. One of the things I think is important on this painting is to have some fresh ultramarine blue and some fresh burnt sienna out. So I'm even going to just squirt some out. I don't know if any of you read my artist statement.
I did.
I did too. Very good.
Thank you all for your inspiration. I truly mean that. One of the things I was thinking was doing for artist statement was saying using brown and blue for making gray is like the whole artist statement for the summer. But then it ended up just being such one little piece of it, our summer colors. There was just so much happened this summer. It's just an amazing time, really. So there, that's how I squish out my paint. Now I'm just going to go for it and paint away. I am going to wet my sky. And remember, my PBO is really, really dry. One of the things I want to try to do is leave some light area in my sky and light area behind that spot in my PBO, where I know it just crackled from that area. And I go all the way right over the mountain, all the way to the bottom of the painting. It's all wet now. Some of my lines are barely showing up, and that's all good. So it's very dark, very, very dark, and kind of purpley. This little streak of blue, and then the mountain is really even darker. So I just have to use a lot of paint. I'm going to start with a bunch of that French ultramarine blue I just put out. It's a ton of it. It's like almost straight out of the tube right there. And I'm going to add some French ultramarine blue to it. And that makes that dark indigo. And I like making my own indigo and my own sepia right now, both with those two summer colors, French ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, because I can lift it. Both of those colors will lift. So if I use the sepia from the tube or the indigo from the tube, I can't lift it. That's not going to be enough. It's just so much paint that needs.
Lost you.
Yep.
We lost, we
Okay,
lost your
iPhone.
image.
Somebody's calling me. It's Eleanor Jolly. Can't talk right now. Did she go away? My phone went
No.
away.
Your picture isn't back yet.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Now it's upside down, huh?
Yes.
She's so good at calling right when I have class. All right, there we are. Now I'm going to add a little bit of permanent rose to that petal. Till I get it the pink that I wanted, the purple that I want. There, I like that color, I think. Okay, I'm going to start at the top. It's still damp. Oh yeah, we want that just intense color. No, I didn't even make enough. This is just for like I just made enough for like the top part. Now the trick is to leave some light areas in those clouds. I'm going to add more pink. So I'm changing up the shade. And I do want to leave a little light area right where I'm pointing. Right where the brightest part of the lightning is, I do want to leave it kind of white there. But I don't want these big streaks here. I want some lightness, but not big streaks. Okay, keep going. Now I need do more paint. Okay, French and burnt sienna. Oh. Now I kind of want to put a little bit of a blue streak through right here. And the blue that I'm going to use is manganese mixture. My brush a little bit dirty. That's with I just put a little bit of my petal into it. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to put that in. Now I'm going to go back to purple. Wow. Go right over the mountain. I want it even darker than that. Okay, there we go. That's indigo. I'm gonna sign my name. I'm going to sign it on the right side this today. And just decide if that's enough paint on there. That's it. I think it looks, I'm liking it. I think I could put a little purple streak below the, but you know what, I think I'm gonna leave it. So what I'm gonna do right now though is dry this really, really well. Do you think that blue is too bright?
A little, maybe.
Looks like there might be too much of it.
Better.
Yeah. Better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute this and dry it really well with the blow dryer. Before you take your PBO off, it has to be really, really dry. I forgot something. I forgot to put the land in. So it needs to be another layer over it. So if we look at this one again, you can see that the land is there. You can see it under the lights. Actually, it kind of like painted itself, which I don't know how it did that, but so this is good because now this is pretty dry, so it's not going to bleed. And all I'm going to do is put another layer. I have lost those pencil marks, mostly. Actually, I see a couple of them. Hey, Claire. Did you get my notes? Not yet. Okay. I'm going to go to the hill to hang on the shelf first. Okay. I don't know what that little light dot is. Well, that makes it dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
I could go in and mess around with the ocean down below, but I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. There's like a couple rocks are back here. I'm just gonna make that not such a straight line right there. Okay, I'm gonna dry it again. Okay. Now I'm going to use my pickup and pull off all that PBO. And hopefully I'll have a white line under it and not lift a bunch of paint around it. Oh yeah, it's working pretty well so far. When I painted these, I let this part dry on its own without the blow dryer overnight. I see that one's not connected right there. So white paint can do little fixes on these. Okay, now the little lights. Okay. They're basically painted. So a couple things that we can do. One thing is I forgot the golf ball. I can put that in. And I can put a little white in. And I can also, if you look at the pictures, some of the lightning is not really white. It's kind of purpley, pinkish. You know what? I didn't use Perylene Maroon on this one. I wish I had in the purples. If I'd have put some Perylene Maroon, I would have that warm sort of reddish glow, which I think I put in. I think I did use Perylene Maroon in that painting. But anyway, so I'm just going to take just a tiny bit of color that's got a little bit of the pink in it. And I touched my paper towel. I'm gonna try over here and just see what happens. I want it a little more pink. Try here and see what happens. Yeah, I like that. So coming down from in here, I'm putting some like pink, purpley pink in the lightning because it's not perfectly white in some of these spots. And I think I want to sort of smudge. These are not really glow. I'm just going to use the paint that's next to these and smudge those lights a little bit so they're not quite as bright. Put my golf ball in so it barely shows. Oh, no, well, that's okay. And then I think we've got it. Well, do you think it needs to have a little bit of more light right in that one spot? Like right here, should it be lighter behind it? Or is it okay?
No, it looks good.
Just leave it? Okay. All right. So there we go.
Very nice.
I like it.
Thanks.
Mary Kay,
Yes.
when you put the Perylene Maroon in, did you
Yep.
mix it in with the indigo mixture with the burnt sienna and the French ultramarine?
Yes. Here, let me go to the one this one here. And I'll try it with some of that so you can see. Can you see it fine or should I
That's
pin
it.
that one?
No, we can see it.
You're good.
Good enough? Okay. So I'm going to try this one with Perylene Maroon now. So I'm wetting it. You know, sometimes when you paint them fast like this and there's something weird about it, you end up with the best painting of all. That's happened so many times. The fastest ones sometimes are the best. Okay, French, burnt sienna. Fairly maroon. Let's see what you do. It's kind of just got, yeah, it's got that color all right. That's sort of yucky.
Forgot your rose. Or did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, I did forget it. So now I just put it in. I don't know about that Pearline Maroon. It's not doing so much for me now.
Mm-mm.
Maybe if I just use Pearline Maroon and Burnt Sienna. Not Burnt Sienna, Pearline Maroon and French Ultra. Let's see what we get.
Woo.
That's better, huh?
Yeah.
You like that one?
Mhm.
Oops, that's not what I wanted. I don't know. Just play with it. Play with the different colors on a piece of scratch paper and see what you get.
What's your favorite brand of burnt sienna these days?
These days and every day for 30 years has been Winsor Newton.
Okay.
The only burnt sienna I ever use is Winsor Newton.
Okay.
Ever. And when people can't make green, it's because they're not using Winsor Newton.
Mm.
So Winsor Newton that's the one, well, there's more than one, but it has to be Winsor Newton burnt sienna, just 100%. Well, you get the idea.
Mhm.
Did anybody paint?
I did, but it's not all dry. I can't take it off and finish it
Okay,
off.
we'll come back to you. Did anybody paint that can lift theirs up?
I just
Yeah.
have the one that I did the other day that I sent to you, Mary Kay.
Uh-huh.
This one.
Yeah.
It's not dark enough, but
It looks like
the one I'm doing today is just it's still drying. So, and I had to take 2 phone calls while we were doing this, so it didn't work out. But I'll get it done.
Doris, good.
The
colors are cool.
the PBO is still on it.
Yeah, your colors are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love where you put those blues. Here's Penny's. Penny's got one with light on it. So why don't you do one at a time?
Okay, that's the one from the other day.
Yeah,
I can't.
This was a
that's the
different
one
one.
with the 2 forks. And you just did that one.
That's pretty.
That's the one you sent
that's
last night.
Shauna's house. One of those lights is Shauna's house.
Yeah.
Dee Para's not on our call today, but she took a photograph almost exactly like that one. That's just beautiful also. I really like that one, Penny.
Yeah, that's
a
cool.
one.
I'll put it on the website so you can see it better.
Yeah.
Okay, what website?
Well, I mean on the email.
Email? Okay. Dee? Did you
I
paint?
painted, yeah, I did, but it's still dry. I need to
Still
dry it.
wet?
I need to dry it though.
Right. Oh, it's amazing.
But
That
we'll see.
sky is phenomenal. Wow, you're a sky queen.
Sky Queen, yay!
Getty and Vicky, Laura?
Oh,
I
not
didn't
yet.
paint. Not me, no.
Nope. Arlene?
No,
Laura?
Not yet.
Okay, so you're all gonna wait?
Yep.
Can you put the last one up again? I missed it.
And these?
The one that I
Me.
said you were a sky queen?
Sky
Lee,
Queen.
put yours up.
Of
Yeah.
the Sky Queen.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait. Put it back. I was trying to pin. Well, it's hard. Oh, cool. Very nice.
Thank you.
I'm trying to pin, it's so little. You have to have time to pin everybody's up so you can see
Yeah.
the thing.
Well, shall we call it a class?
Yeah.
Sounds
No,
good.
let's do it again.
Let's do it again next week. We'll do
Ladies?
naked ladies.
Yay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What day is Labor Day?
Labor Day is Monday.
Oh, okay. Got it.
A
That-
week from Monday.
That doesn't affect this class, does it?
Correct.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just had a brainstorm. Let me
Labor Day's a
say
week from
goodbye
Monday.
to our YouTube people, and then I can keep talking to you guys. Okay. Bye, YouTube people.
Labor Day's a week from Monday.